So the first card here is the Queen of Swords. This is your energy. And the Queen of Swords, this is somebody that is very decisive. For example, she knows what she wants. She or he knows what they want. And they're able to, strategize and have a game plan in order to be able to achieve their objective. When you're showing up in the reverse position, it basically indicates to me a situation where you're feeling a little bit stuck. You're feeling a little bit unsure, with a little bit of a topsy-turvy type of energy. On the one hand, you want to implement new changes and to steer your life in a very positive direction. You want to move ahead and you want to forge a new path for yourself. On the other hand, there are situations surrounding your environment that's not allowing you to do so. And this is a card about, thinking about the past, demanding answers from the past, wanting some type of a finality, some type of a either closure from a past situation. So something from, November and December that might have really stirred you up, and you're trying to, cut off those cords of attachment, but you're still somewhat not able to do that. So it feels a little bit frustrating for some of you, and I do feel that the overall theme of this card is urging you to think about things and do some type of a strategic planning for the year ahead so that you can be able to achieve the goals that you want, and you can, affect outcome within certain areas where you have control over. As it pertains to other people, you might not have control over what they're doing, what their motives are, what their objectives are. But this is more about, drawing back your energy, figuring out where you are headed, what you are trying to achieve, and putting down a realistic course of action or a realistic game plan so that you can move forward, okay? I do feel a lot of you are demanding answers from something or somebody that from the past. In your second house, we have the Two of Swords, and the second house deals with your money and your value system. So the Two of Swords is waiting on a decision as it pertains to money, financial, windfall, financial outcome. So this is like waiting on a result from another, like a decision that is made by another person or a decision that is made regarding your financial situation, waiting for a raise, waiting for a promotion, thinking about shifting jobs and not really sure whether or not you should grab new opportunities as they come in. And as it pertains to your values, this is a card about, being, drawing back your energy and figuring out who you are and how what you value. So don't get sidetracked or don't get swayed by other people because they're bringing you either an emotional argument or even a rational argument. These things might make sense the way they're logically presented to you, but if your gut instincts tell you that, there is something more to the argument, I do feel it's time for you to withdraw and figure out where you stand rather than being persuaded by either an emotional or even a rational argument. I feel for many of you, as it pertains to your financial situation, things are there might be a lot of structural changes within your work environment, and you're not really sure if you should stay or if you should continue to move forward to a different work environment. So I do feel some type of ebb and flow, some type of fluctuation and uncertainty as it pertains to the viability of your job or the stability of your job long term. So you're doing some, I feel, serious reassessment to figure out if it's still worth staying in this environment, okay? Third house deals with communication, and it deals with siblings as well. Let me talk about your communication first, mainly because the heavy theme for this month is effective communication, how you present your arguments, how you communicate with others, how you get your point across, as well as how you can figure out a game plan so that you can be able to either persuade other people to get on board with you or to present yourself in a way where you can be persuasive to other people. In the third house, we have the Hierophant in the reverse position. The Hierophant in the reverse position basically indicates a situation where people are not, as it pertains to your specific communication style. I feel like there might be some communication problems. It's sort of like telling a story and there isn't a beginning, a middle, and end. So they're urging you to go back to the source, figure out things in a chronological, in a logical progression before you talk about, before you describe a situation or before you talk about how, cause and effect. So they're telling you not to jump to conclusion. Go back to the source, identify, which event happened first, what happened second. So it's basically telling you to do things in a more traditional, in a little bit more of a structured way, just so that you can understand all the pieces of the puzzle, so that by doing so, you will then be able to answer, be able to get answers to the bigger picture, to be able to see the bigger picture. So the advice here is, say what you need to say, communicate in a way that makes sense to the other people, and understand that maybe people need a lot more, I want to say like proof before they can jump on board and be on the bandwagon with you. So simplify your communication style, okay? And I guess like having a layout, having a little bit of a game plan when it comes to communication is going to be a lot better in your favor. The Hierophant indicates some type of institution as well. And as it falls in your third house, the third house deals with siblings. So I feel that a lot of you might be in situations where there might be some type of dysfunction within the household environment that you grew up in. There might have been some type of non-traditional family. So, I do feel foster care system. I do feel dealing with somebody in your family that might pertain to like children, foster care systems, child protective services, and things like that. And you might even be working in this capacity, or you're going to be communicating heavily with people that are working in that capacity. Okay, so it deals heavily with institutions. I do feel that, child protective services coming to mind. I feel like also a lot of you might have grown up in an environment where there might have been like blended families, or there might have been like either people who might have been adopted, who might have been foster. There might have been like, some type of situation where you have a sibling, but you find out they might not be blood related to you. So something like that. It's not always going to be that dramatic for everybody, but I feel like there's some type of a non-traditional vibe as it pertains to the environment and the siblings that you deal with. The fourth house here is the Hermit in the reverse, and the fourth house deals with your family life, the family that you grew up with, and the family that you're hoping to create for yourself. And it also deals with the mother. We do have the Hermit in the reverse position. Now, the Hermit in the reverse position basically indicates a situation where we're looking at things from a, I want to say like the advice they're giving you is try to look at this situation from a high-minded, from a more forgiving perspective as well. The home environment that many of you might have grown up in, I feel that it might have felt very either like very lonely, or there might not have been a lot of love and affection showered upon you. I feel like a lot of you had expectations growing up, like, parental expectations, social pressure, even family pressure to be a certain way, to get into a certain career track, or, to be like the savior for everybody else, like, to be able to take care of your family when they get older, or your parents when they get older, or you might have been the one that everybody counted on. Everyone like thought you were going to be a specific way. And I feel that you are debunking all of their, or exceeding or debunking their expectations of you. So this is a month in which, you are grappling with what people are expecting of you, as well as what you feel you should do for yourself. And I would say stick to your guns. You are a water sign. And I feel like a lot of the times too, you do bend over backwards to please other people at your detriment. So this is coming into this new year. It's a year to reclaim your power, to like come out of your shell and to assert yourself into, the environment that you're in, to come into that sense of empowerment. So it's really important to be true to ourselves and to realize, is to be true to ourselves and to realize that other people's expectations of us, it's not always appropriate. Okay. So getting back to the root of who you are, getting back to the root of like whatever childhood situations you haven't been, you haven't dealt with adequately, I feel that it's going to be beneficial for you to heal that. I do sense some type of dysfunction within the family unit that you grew up in. For example, I feel that I feel like some of you might have had like a mother figure that passed away at when you were a very young child, and you didn't grow up with that feminine, like I guess that feminine ideal within the family. So what I mean is, you might have grown up in, if you are a woman, a female watching this, you might have grown up in a very masculine environment where people value money, success, status, like the traditional public image. And I feel that, the nurturing side, the emotional rapport that you have with other people, they might have been undervalued, underplayed in favor of more like success, status, prestige. So this is just something coming through for re-examination for this month, and it would be a good idea to try to rectify this situation and to figure, withdraw your energy a little bit and figure out what is it that you value, because I feel that you're hugely influenced by your environment growing up. And you might not have a very strong sense of like, what do I want as an individual? So we need to be a little bit careful here. Once again, I feel that a lot of you are easily influenced by the environment that you grew up in, and easily influenced by other people around you. So having a strong sense of self needs to happen first. Otherwise, we lose ourselves when we interact with other people. Okay, so for good or bad, but it's usually a negative thing. So just something to be careful about. Okay. Fifth house deals with fun, recreation, and creativity. We have here the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles, I usually think of this as, money making endeavors, like small scale, low key types of creative activities that you can do if you're the creative type that can generate money for you. So I usually think of this as somebody who works with their hands. They can be they can be making jewelry. They can be making purses. They do some type of creative activity with their hands. I do see like more visual arts, or even more like arts and crafts. So drawing, singing, even music. Drawing, singing, music. And I'm also seeing like people making things out of nothing in order to sell them. So a lot of you might be turning a creative project into an income generating endeavor. And I do feel money is going to start trickling in for you in that manner. So I do sense it's going to be a very, very good thing for you to do. As it relates to romance as well. With the Page of Pentacles, this is an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. I feel that a lot of you, if you are single and, out on or even coupled up, there's a lot of dates coming through. There's a lot of like, people coming into, either solicit you to go out on a date, or they are bringing opportunities to go out and socialize. And I feel that, little gifts and trinkets for those who are coupled up and attached, little gifts and trinkets that will make you feel quite good and stable about your relationship. If you are dealing with this person in a dating, social dating type of environment, this is somebody who's definitely interested in you. They have a lot to offer. They are very reliable. And I do feel like they put you on a pedestal. Okay. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. If you're casually dating this person, I feel that there's a lot of like going out, having fun, doing creative activities as well with this person. And I do feel for some of you, this might be your own child that you're doing some type of creative endeavor with. And then for others, it's somebody that you are, romantically involved with, like socially, lightly dating this person. In your sixth house, we have the sixth house deals with health. It deals with work. And it also deals with your daily routine, your daily activities, okay? We have the moon in the reverse position. So first of all, it's really important for you all to get a lot of sleep, okay? So I do see like this, transient energy, staying up very, very late at night, having your sleep schedule disturbed either because of noise or either because of something in your environment that's not allowing you to get restful sleep. Okay, so I do see as well, this is a health situation, and with the moon, it indicates some type of a respiratory, either like respiratory situation like asthma. I do see having allergic reactions, and I do see like something about, dry skin breaking out in hives. So, moisturizing, these basic maintenance things such as moisturizing, but I do see allergic reactions. I do feel as well weakened immune system overall, where, allergies or allergens that might not have affected you in the past are now kicking up. Okay. So being careful, taking, proper antihistamine and things like that, or at least, keep yourself very moisturized and very lubricated through the winter months for those of you who are living in the northern hemisphere. This is going to be something important as it pertains to your health. I do see respiratory situation too, asthma, and I do feel asthma and I do feel allergic reactions, okay? Not being able to breathe well, sinus infections, congestion and things like that. I do see the nasal passages. I do see the throat as well with this card. So just be careful about that. In terms of your work environment, and this is going to tie in with something a little bit later. So I'm just going to mention it right now and go back to it in a little bit. There is some reshuffling in your work environment. I feel that November and December, there might have been like a lot of things that were up in the air regarding, if you're working for a company, for example, there might have been situations where there might have been mergers, there might have been a large droves of people leaving the work environment and a bunch of new people coming through. There might have been some shuffling as it pertains to the leadership in the work environment, and I feel that you're waiting for the dust to settle. There might have been a lot of new revelations coming through where you're trying to figure out, like, do I continue to stay? Why is everybody leaving? If everybody's leaving, should I leave as well? Is something going to happen to the company? So I feel like if that energy came through for November and December, it is a really important time for you to just wait things out, wait for the dust to settle a little bit before you make up your mind, okay? The moon indicates confusion overall. So it's not, if we're making decisions when we are confused, it's just not a good place to be. So just wait for the dust to settle a little bit, okay? Now, 7th house looks very good. The 7th house deals with relationships and business partnerships as well. So relationships in love, in romance, and also in business. First of all, in romance, we do have here the Knight of Cups. This is somebody coming through to offer a gift of love, okay? They are offering themselves, and it's shown up in the upright position, which indicates to me sincerity. It also indicates to me a very, very good energy for somebody who is genuine and who has a good heart. I do feel reconciliation as well coming through for some of you. And I do feel an energy where you are giving yourself to another person. You are offering yourself to another person, either making a gesture to show somebody that you're interested or them to you. What I feel is this. I'm sensing that, for some of you, you're going to get some answers that you need from the past in order for you to just forget about it and just move forward. And what I'm also feeling with this card here is once you are able to move forward, there will be new suitors coming through. I do sense a lot of you might be dealing with another water sign, so a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. But because you're also a water sign, with you showing up in this position, I feel that, it could just be a person. It doesn't matter the sign. They are making their feelings known, and they are giving you some type of I want to say an offer of love, friendship, and at least, dating. Okay, so there is a very, very good, prospective, like a person that is a very good prospect for dating. And that's going to be made known to you sometime this month. 8th house deals with joint finances. We do have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. And in the straightforward manner, this card is usually indicative of some type of a broken home. Divorce situation, people that were romantically involved together, they might have had lived in one space and now things are over. And so people are either moving in, moving out. You're dividing your assets between people, and you are in a position where you're waiting on some assets to be divided up between you and another person. This is a card that also indicates to me generational wealth. There might have been some type of dispute regarding, as it pertains to inheritances, divided up between siblings, and there might be some type of internal resentment. For example, somebody's getting a specific share, somebody's getting a house, somebody's getting a car, and I'm feeling like there is an overall sense of disagreement it's not, I feel like, it can be quite serious for some and then very minor for others. So there's some type of generational wealth being divided up. And it creates a lot of confusion. It creates a lot of this concern about fairness, concern about justice overall as to how financial assets are being divided up, as well as inheritance is being divided up for some of you. The ninth house, the eighth house, there's more to be said about that, but I feel just for the sake of this reading, just some of the things that you want to be careful about. I feel like this situation might drag on past January, okay? So we're going to look into the other months later on throughout the year to see how it comes up and to see whether or not it's going to get resolved. So the ninth house basically deals with your higher education, travel, and we're talking about long-term travel and philosophical outlook. As it pertains to your education, higher education, for example, for those of you who are still in school, and for those of you who are, students passing through exams, doing your thesis, doing your dissertations, for example, this is a very, very strong warning here to not rest on your laurels, okay? Because if you are especially in a school environment, you're going to be forced to be a researcher. You're going to be forced to communicate your ideas in a very clear, concise, and succinct manner. And you're also going to need to know what you're talking about. So that means having ample evidence to back things up. On top of that, as a student, this is a card about research here. So it basically tells you that don't trust the things that are being published. You need to form your own ideas, and you need to defend your ideas when they are either questioned, when you are other people are questioning you. So it's a card about not taking things for granted, not taking knowledge as as gospel. It's really important to do a little bit of digging so that we can unearth answers for ourselves, so that we can figure out how things work, and we can also have evidence to back up our claims, okay?